This video is brought to you by Ridge Wallet, a slim front pocket wallet available in carbon fiber and titanium. With more than 250,000 sold, a lifetime guarantee and free shipping, get 10% off with the code GOLDFISH at ridgewallet.com. Hello everyone, it's Seth, probably better known as Saffron Olive, and it's time for another Instant Deck Tech. So as you know, Wednesday means it's Wild Card Wednesday here in Instant Deck Tech land, and we have a super cool Pauper list to check out this week. So with Ultimate Masters, Pauper got a bunch of new cards, with cards being downgraded mostly from uncommon, but even rare, all the way to common. And this is a deck that is 100% brand new, enabled by a new card that came to us from Ultimate Masters, and this is Infinite Priest Combo. And this one comes to us from Kung Futris, who took it to a top 32 finish in a recent Pauper challenge on Magic Online. So congrats to Kung Futris on a super cool deck. A quick reminder before we break down Infinite Priest for Pauper. If you enjoy this deck and you want to see it made into videos, take a minute, click the like button, the subscribe button, leave a comment, anything you can do to support your deck, because whichever deck is most popular gets a shot at being made into videos next week. So Infinite Priest is built around Tethmos High Priest, which has this sweet heroic ability where when you target it with something, you get to reanimate a creature with converted mana cost 2 or less. And that is the main ability that we're trying to take advantage of. And this is kind of like this weird graveyardy combo deck. So step 1 of this deck is to stock our graveyard. We need to get stuff in our graveyard, even including our Tethmos High Priest, but we'll talk about that in a minute. So Faithless Looting, Stinkweed Imp are the fastest way to get cards in our graveyard in the Pauper format. So Faithless Looting, we just draw 2, discard 2, gets things in the graveyard. Stinkweed Imp, if we get it in the graveyard, we can dredge 5, which is a lot of dredging to get it back to our hand. Also really good blocker against Delver. So these are cards that help us get things in the graveyard, and we can combine them with Tormenting Voice and Night's Whisper, which keep us churning through our deck and let us kind of abuse the dredging ability on our Stinkweed Imp, dredging multiple times in the same turn. So filling our graveyard at lightning speed, digging through our deck for combo pieces. So what are we trying to get into our graveyard? And step 1 is we can get our Tethmos High Priest itself in the graveyard. So we can just cast our High Priest. That's perfectly fine. But we're also fine with milling it over because we have 3 copies of Unearth, which reanimates a creature, converted mana cost 3 or less, and that includes Tethmos High Priest and a bunch of our other combo pieces. So let's assume that our deck is doing what it wants to do. We are stocking our graveyard, getting a bunch of cards in there. We get our High Priest on the battlefield, either by reanimating it or just casting it. How do we actually go about winning the game? And this is where the deck gets pretty fun. So what is the Tethmos High Priest combo? In step 1, it's pretty janky, but it's pretty effective. Crown of Flames. So Crown of Flames is a weird enchantment. 1 mana to cast. You can pay a red to give a creature +1/+0 until end of turn. So basically gives the creature fire breathing. The main thing here is you can pay 1 red mana to return Crown of Flames to its owner's hand. So you probably see where this is going. This gives us a repeatable way to target our Tethmos High Priest. We cast it, we trigger High Priest, get something back from our graveyard, then for another mana we can bounce it back to our hand, recast it, get something else back from our graveyard. So what are we trying to reanimate with this? And here we need 2 separate pieces to go infinite. So we need Skirk Prospector and also Mog War Marshal. So if we can get down our High Priest, have a Crown of Flames, we can reanimate our Mog War Marshal, reanimate our Skirk Prospector, and then we have achieved infinite mana. So basically what we do is we are able to sacrifice Mog War Marshal itself, sacrifice both tokens it makes, because you make one when it enters the battlefield, you make one when it leaves the battlefield. So basically you get 3 goblins in 1 card with Mog War Marshal. So that's going to make 3 mana with the help of Skirk Prospector. That gives us enough mana that we can pay 1 mana to bounce our Crown of Flames, pay another mana to cast our Crown of Flames, targeting our High Priest to reanimate our Mog War Marshal, then we can repeat that loop. So we're basically spending 2 mana to play and bounce our Crown of Flames to generate 3 mana with Mog War Marshal sacrificed to Skirk Prospector. So that gives us infinite red mana. We just keep going through this loop again and again and again and again. Reanimation, sack everything, bounce flames, replay flames, get back Mog War Marshal, do it again, do it again. So let's say we make like 100 mana, some ridiculously high amount of mana. Then to actually kill our opponent, we shift gears a little bit and keep reanimating Fanatical Firebrand. So Fanatical Firebrand is just a 1-mana hasty creature that can sacrifice itself to deal 1 damage to something. So once we have like 100 mana floating, we can stop going through our mana producing loop and go into a loop where we are able to bounce our Crown of Flames, play our Crown of Flames, reanimate Fanatical Firebrand, ping our opponent for 1, use some of that huge pile of floating mana to bounce Crown of Flames, replay it on High Priest, get back Fanatical Firebrand, ping our opponent for 1, do that again, do that again, do that again, until eventually our opponent's just going to die. No matter what life total they are at, we can deal 100 damage, 1,000 damage, 1,000,000 damage with this combo. It's an infinite damage combo. So after we get the infinite mana, we switch into infinite damage mode. The other sweet thing about this combo is it has protection built in as well. If we are worried about our opponent killing our High Priest as we are trying to combo off, we can get back Benevolent Bodyguard to give our High Priest protection from a color. And then if we need to, we can get it back again and give it protection from another color. So not only does the combo have infinite mana and infinite damage, but it has a built-in way to protect itself as well. So that is basically what the deck is trying to do. Exclusively that. Get this combo in the graveyard, get back our High Priest, have the Crown of Flames, go infinite in a whole bunch of different ways to just kill our opponent. Otherwise, Lava Dart gives us a bit of removal that we can use from the graveyard. Prismatic Strands, kind of like a fog/protection spell that we can also use from the graveyard. So we're fine with dredging these, discarding these to Faithless Looting as we're setting up our combo. Mana base, a bunch of Evolving Wilds, Ash Barrens, Terramorphic Expansives for a 3-color mana base, some bounce lands, some basic lands. As far as the sideboard, we can also go into infinite life gain mode when we go through that loop with our Crown of Flames. If we have out a God Pharaoh's Faithful, we're gaining a life whenever we cast a red spell, also blue or back, but in this case red. So as we were bouncing and replaying that Crown of Flames again and again and again, we also just gain infinite life. So we can bring this in against decks like Burn, other aggro decks to gain a bunch of life. Also a good blocker in the early game. Lone Missionary, more life gain, reanimatable by our High Priest, another Prismatic Strands. We also have some removal. Martyr of Ash, a way we can wipe away a bunch of creatures without flying. Good against like go wide aggro decks like Elves, for example. Snuff Out kills almost anything for free as long as we can afford the life. Pyroblast to fight through the counter spells of decks like Delver. And then Gurmag Angler gives us a backup way of winning. We're getting so many cards in our graveyard, we can kind of go away from the combo and just try to play big 5/5s for 1 mana and beat our opponent down that way. And that is the sweet newness of Infinite Priest for Pauper, and that's been our Instant Deck for today. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will talk to you soon. Thanks for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, help us out by clicking that like button down below. And to keep up on all the latest and greatest, click that subscribe button. And don't forget to hit that bell icon to get alerts whenever we have new videos. And if you want to, check out some of our other sweet videos here and here.